so I figured this would be the best time to get back in and do a little reviewing on the archetypes and classes that will be offered to us. And Ashes of Creation classes are going to be determined by both a primary and secondary archetype. These will consist of Fighter, Tank, Rogue, Ranger, Mage, Summoner, Cleric, and Bard. As it currently stands, the support role will be both Bard and Cleric, whereas DPS will be Summoner, Mage, Ranger, Fighter, and Rogue. Tank will of course be a tank. So upon starting our journey in Vera, players will have to choose the primary archetype that best reflects the role that they want to pursue in-game. And after playing the game for a while, you will eventually be given the opportunity to gain a secondary archetype. This is something that, for lack of a better word, will enhance your playstyle, and the opportunity to choose this secondary archetype will however not arrive until you are at least level 25. The combination of the two is what is going to create your class. So in the diagram I'm about to put on screen, you'll be able to see the different options that AOC has to offer. On the left we have our primary archetypes, and on the top row we have the secondary. So if someone wanted to be a weapons master, they would have to choose a fighter role as their primary and a fighter as their secondary as well. In the case of a cleric tank combo, you see the apostle class, falconer is a ranger summoner, and so on. The 8x8 grid gives us a massive total of 64 classes to choose from, which is an insane amount compared to many other games out there. Due to this, I think it'll be beneficial for everyone to really take the time and think about what it is that they want to play and what is going to best suit them in their play styles. We're going to have a vast amount of skills, and this is before the inclusion of artisan and crafting skills, which will further help define us as a player. In terms of primary archetype, a player will not be able to alter it after selecting it at the start of the game. However, it is not the case for the secondary archetype. While it has been confirmed that secondary archetypes can be altered, it has also been stated that it will not be something you're going to be able to just switch on the go. While personally I'm unsure of how the secondary archetypes are going to be able to be changed, the fact that it does means that individuals who wish to fill a specific role such as tank will get the opportunity to swap if they do not exactly like how that version of the tank is playing. I believe this will help players feel like they're having a unique and exciting experience rather than being forced into a meta, as the specific augments may be better utilized in some situations than others. Just like stated earlier, the secondary archetypes work through an augment system. This means that while we may not get extra skills from our secondary archetype, the skills we do have will be altered. Through this, a player will have the choice to cause an ability to change its original nature. This could be seen with additional properties such as damage mitigation, maybe a bleed now gives life steal, maybe you change fire to frost, or you get shield reduction on enemies, or any other plethora of ideas they could throw at us. In the situation a character's secondary archetype does not match their primary, it will have several augmentations based off of the secondary archetype. If, say, a player were to double specialize, so fighter, like we used in the example earlier, it will further enhance that specific archetype. For you to change your augmentations, you're going to have to be able to visit an NPC that has the capability to swap them for you, and these NPCs will be located in nodes that have reached the status of village or higher. Augmentations will also have some cool visual effects, as well as their color or appearance of the ability could change as a result of them. So now that we've talked a little bit about the different archetypes and how they impact our class, we can now look at class resources. While most players have probably heard of your general stamina or mana, Ashes also has the addition of archetype-specific resources. Currently, this is seen in the Fighter, Tank, and Cleric archetypes. For Fighter, we have the addition of Combat Momentum, which will grant unique bonuses to your stats. Momentum is a resource that can be spent, but just like in any game, when you're on a hot streak, you don't want your momentum to slow down. This is why combat momentum is a resource that fighters will more than likely want to maintain rather than be spent on a consecutive basis. This will allow them to keep that competitive edge on the battlefield. The tank's unique resource is called Courage. This resource is going to allow the tank to reduce incoming damage to their character. Courage is a resource that your party's tank will have to constantly balance, as it is going to be consumed by the use of their ability Grit. Grit is a key ability in damage reduction for your survivability, and during its time of use, Courage will not be able to be gained, so the player will have to learn how to use Grit effectively so that they can also maintain Courage in positions where they need it. I'm sorry to say this to healers, but gone are the days of casting spells and just letting them overheal. That is going to be a big waste of mana now that we have Divine Power, as Divine Power is a resource that will be given to the cleric, and it is increased through radiant damage on enemies or by casting heals on your teammates. My guess is that it's going to be kind of used like an oh crap button, because the Divine Power will allow you to instantly finish an ability that is already currently being cast. And the Divine Power is awarded for the use of both spells inflicting radiant damage, like I said earlier, as well as those heals on your teammates. But the caveat is that it will not be awarded for overheals, so only spells in which healing has actually been done. While I do not believe it's been confirmed if other archetype-specific resources will be created, we do have 2 that will be used in some way by all archetypes. This is both mana and stamina, and they will either be utilized for specific abilities, blocking, dodging, or sprinting. So, by the time this video releases, the live stream showcasing the Bard class will have released. I'd love to hear your all's thoughts on it down below.